there, friends. Today we're going to do exercise 37 from Otto Salamon's Teacher's Handbook of Sloyd. This is the pegging joint. It's very similar to a mortise and tenon, except it's done with chisels, making a round peg in one end, boring a hole in the other. I think the strength quality will be basically the same as the mortise and tenon, but probably a little bit easier to do. If you're following along as these are being published, you're going to notice that I've jumped way ahead because this is a joint that I've really been wanting to try. This is my first time at it, so let's take a look at the book first and then we'll dive into the woodwork.
As we look at page 142 of Otto Salamon's book, The Teacher's Handbook of Sloyd, we see exercise 37, which is the fitting in pegs of a joint. Now, the purpose of this is to joint two pieces of wood together by means of a dowel or pin, which is fitted accurately into a hole bored with the center bit or auger bit. Tools used suggested are the square, the center bit, and the knife. We will be using the auger bit and the chisel. And the definition or directions are: the hole is drilled with the auger bit. After finding the center of the peg, a circle is described using the bit and is used in order to get the size of the peg. The dowel or pin is set out with the square and made cylindrical with the knife. We will, of course, be using the chisel so that it may be fit accurately.
All right, we're going to start by boring a hole in this side. So let's find center. We'll just take our pencil, run it down the approximate center, flip it over on the other side. Okay, you can see I left a gap there, so we extend the pencil then to the middle. Flip it over the other side. And since that's the same, we have now found the center. And in this case, we really don't care about the center in that direction, so we'll just mark that. Let's go ahead and clamp it in the vise. All right, and we have a 3/4 inch brace and bit, or a brace with a 3/4 inch bit there. We'll just line that up and placing our forehead on, we'll just bore us out an appropriate depth hole. And we want to go down deep enough, but we don't want to go all the way through. All right, I think that's a good depth. Now with the other piece, first thing we're going to do is mark center. So we'll take out the center finder, our pencil, and just to be sure we're getting as close to center as we can, we'll go in from all four sides. So you can see the block is a little bit out of square, but that gives us a good idea of where center is going to be. So we'll clamp this in grain facing up. We'll take our brace and bit, put it in here. Now the idea coming in from this direction is not to bore a hole, but to give us a good outline of where we should chisel down to. All right, hopefully you can see that. From this angle, we got a nice, good outline there. The other thing we want to do is go back to our original block and mark the depth. You can do this with a pencil. The ruler is almost too small, but it does make it in there. And we're going to want our peg to be approximately that deep. Now, Otto Salomon does not put it in his book, but one of the things I like to do when I'm doing this is to saw out these corners just a little bit, and that'll help us a little as we're coming down. So in order to do that, why don't we grab the pull saw here, since we're going to be pulling this to us, and just make a few cuts there on the corner. This is just to help guide us a little bit. This is not really going to be the final. Okay. All right, now what we want to do is, with a good sharp chisel, we are going to do a paring stroke. A couple of ways you can do this. You can just, if it's a good straight grain, and now you can start seeing why these relief cuts help. Don't try going too deep at once. All right, the other thing you can do is lean into it with your body and give a little bit of extra help. This is better, I think, as you're getting closer to the line. Grab the mallet. This is going to help us a little bit as we're going around the circle. I think we took too big of a chunk there. Let's just kind of take a little bit smaller bites, and that's going to work better. And now we just keep working ourselves around until we get down to the depth. Getting closer and closer. Always kind of working at the corners. So basically we go from a square to an octagon to 16-sided, and then we just continue working it down. You can see we're going to have some cleanup work to do once we get all the way down to depth. All right, now that we're getting really close to our circle, this is where I like to come in with just nice, smooth strokes. Work our way down. The closer we can get it to round, the better it's going to fit. Just peel away a little bit at a time. A little bit at a time. All right, see, we still got some ridges there. Peel a little bit more. almost to our line. Almost to our, not quite. But at this point, it's very important that we're just taking very small pieces. You can see, I actually took too big of a chunk and flattened one side out, so gotta be very careful as we go round. All right, let's do a test fit and see what we got. Ooh, pretty snug fit. Doesn't quite go all the way down. It means our base needs some work. That's okay. It's easier to take wood off than it is to put it back on. I don't know who invented that saying. I've heard it several times. But it does make a lot of sense. And that's been a difficult lesson for me because I get impatient and I want to go straight to the line, and then I end up overshooting it, and then I can't get anything to fit properly. All right, we're getting a good fit there. Now we're going to kind of tilt this over on its side, and let's see if we can clean up some of this end grain here. I've often heard it said that the true test of a sharp chisel is how it performs on soft end grain like this. Probably see my chisel could use a little work. And if any of you are wondering, this is actually the first time I've tried this particular joint. I've done this with chair legs before, but I've never done it joining square stock. So how's it going to fit now? Okay. All right, so we got two choices. This hole is not deep enough, or this peg is too long. Either one, the result is the same. We are not getting a good tight fit here. So what would you do? Would you drill out the peg, or would you drill out the hole, or would you cut the peg down? Because the overall dimensions of this piece is not critical. I think it's going to be easier to drill out the hole just a little bit. All right, I'm missing about 1/4 inch. So let's go ahead and mount this back in. Take the bit and brace. All right, and I got to be careful, otherwise I'm going to shoot out the bottom side there. We definitely don't want that to happen. Okay, got a good fit there. Let's get some glue on this thing. We'll just put a few dabs of glue here. So this will give us a nice end grain to end grain joint. Taps there. All right, so we could have been done better lining it up. But this is going to be, once this glue dries, this is going to be, I think, basically as strong as a mortise and tenon. I'm not sure about that. Let me know what you think down below. Is this as strong as a mortise and tenon? Don't know, but I think it is going to be strong enough. So this comes from the Teacher's Handbook of Sloyd, Basic Woodworking Exercises. Till next time, friends, take care. God bless.